Hi, I'm Dr. Matt B, and these are your emotional minutes, and it's good to be here with you. So, we've been talking about how to find good mental health information online and really sort of how you know that what you're viewing on social media or on blogs is reliable or good information. So, today we're going to talk about strategy number two. Boom. So the second strategy really concerns asking or looking for, do they say where they got their information from? Because again, there's a lot of info out there. Some of it could be based on good information and then it's reliable. Some of it, is kind of shaky, but some of it's really not helpful and can even sometimes be harmful. Being able to ask that question, where did the person who's putting up this content or where is the content saying that they got their information from? So the first thing to look at about that is, did they cite anything? Did they leave any links or any information about where they got their information? Putting a hyperlink to something else, or they might be talking about or discussing a study that was done that helps them know that what they're saying is accurate or is valid. So if they don't do this, if they're just kind of talking and kind of saying ideas and again making a lot of claims about how people are or how the world is or how human psychology is without giving any information about where they got that information, it might be accurate. They might be talking about certain things, but that is sort of a benchmark or a standard to look at and say, okay, maybe this is information that might not be that helpful for me. Now, sometimes people might be actually putting some of that information and they don't talk about any studies, but they leave quotes. So it's sort of like, okay, well, what do you do about quotes? Quotes can be helpful depending on what the source is. They're a mental health provider in like a hospital, or they're a researcher at a university, or they teach college courses, then that can help you know a little bit more. Yeah, maybe this is a good source because that person really studies this stuff deeply and dedicates a lot of time to it. Now, if in their article they actually talk about research that was done, whether they discuss that research or whether they leave like a little link to a research study that in the study says kind of the same thing that they're saying or supports what they're saying, then that's a really good thing. You found good mental health information. That's what we call a green flag, right? It really helps you know, okay, what they're talking about is based on something that's really been studied and investigated pretty deeply. And another part of the second strategy is to also really look at any links that they leave. So are those things linking to a research study or a paper that's really talking about a lot of research that was done and kind of reviewing a lot of previous research? And if they're doing that, that's a good thing. Or if that is that link that they're providing, just kind of going to sort of other blogs, other information. And when you follow that link, going to another blog might be fine, but then does that other blog talk about research studies or leave links to research studies? Or is it discussing that research or giving information that some of the experts I mentioned before are saying? If it is, another green flag. When you click on those links, if it's going to other blogs or other information where it's simply somebody just kind of speaking about sort of speaking their mind or kind of giving an opinion, but it's not talking about any research or any information that was kind of systematically gathered, or maybe it's not one of those experts we talked about, then that's usually not a good thing. That's usually a thing to stay away from. They could be giving you valid information, but you just don't know. But with so much information out there, you can find the stuff that's telling you information that makes you a little bit more confident that it's good information. Really, strategy number two is asking, where did they get that information, and really looking in the content to see if they give any information about where they got that information. Do they leave links to any research studies, or do they discuss any studies that were conducted? That's a really good thing. That's a green flag. But if it's just kind of people, or content that's kind of talking about a certain thing, and they never give any information about where they got that information that they're telling you about, maybe valid information, but you just don't know. And there's plenty of valid information out there or ways you can be confident about that information. And that's usually information that's good to take with a grain of salt or even just to kind of stay away from. So there's a bunch more strategies that we can talk about, and we will in the next couple episodes. But today we talked about strategy number two. And we'll keep going with it. And again, it was good being with you here today. And I'm Dr. Matt B, and these are your emotional minutes. And we'll see you next time.